You're listening to Nexxlegacy.
Had to do something to start the show. Had to definitely make sure I played this track right here. John Mayer, Daughters, good friend of mine, and I want to send him a shout out. And also all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. And I've been saying it all day because a lot of people's been wishing everyone a happy Father's Day. Every day is Father's Day. Anytime you get up, you go about your business and you try to be the best you that you can be, so you can be the best father you can be for your child. That's every day. So, the moment you wake up and you go about doing all those things, that's what makes a real father, and putting work in to be able to cherish every single second that your child is on this earth, because, a lot of people take children for granted nowadays, unfortunately, and good fathers definitely do not. So I want to wish every father out there a happy Father's Day, and continue to just have those Father's Days every day. So I'm glad everybody's here listening tonight on this edition of Branded After Dark. And I got a couple of people on as far as guests tonight that I think is real important, because it kind of merges the conversation that I want to have tonight about us as leaders. And to me, I feel like everybody should have the tools to try to be able to lead and do everything that you can. And tonight I have two guests. The first one I have is Dr. Kevin Barnes, and he's gonna talk about the book Successfully Raising Young Black Men, which I'm definitely I got a ton of questions as well. And also we're gonna merge in as well, and we have Tweet from R&B group Next. Big fan of Next. So many songs in the 90s that continue to still give me his memories, and to me, I think when it comes to being relevant, it doesn't matter how many songs, but if you can have a string of hits like Next has, then it's actually a good look and a blessing to be able to have both gentlemen on. And I will go ahead and put Dr. Barnes on, as well as Tweet from Next. How you guys doing? Happy Father's Day.
Oh, same to you. Happy Father's Day to you as well.
Dr. Barnes, go ahead.
No, I was just saying thank you. Same to you.
Oh, no, it's all good. And Tweet from the R&B group Next. Glad to have you on. And Tweet, you also Dr. Barnes, Tweet. I'm glad you guys are here on this edition of Branded After Dark tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very, very much.
It's a pleasure.
Well, it's a pleasure being on. I'm excited about being on, actually, man.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna start by with Tweet, because Tweet, thank you. I mean, for the music that you've given us, back in the day, and I know you guys are coming back soon. So, I mean, if people forgot, give them a little bit of history about the group and yourself as well.
Well, thanks again for that intro, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the support for all these years. Next been together since 1997. Tilo and I are blood brothers. Irel is like a brother to us. We're all from, Tilo and I are originally from Gary, Indiana. Met Irel in Minnesota when he was about 14. And we got together. We met KG from Naughty by Nature. He signed us to his Divine Mill Productions imprint at the time. He took us to do a showcase for Mr. Clive Davis over at Arista Records. We did a showcase for him. He signed us in 45 minutes. We dropped our first album in a year and a day after being signed, and that included Butter Love and Too Close. And the album was titled Rated Next, which went multi-platinum. And to date, we've sold 18.5 million records. We brought you records like Too Close, Wifey, Butter Love, I Still Love You, Cyber Sex, along with just a few other records. But beyond that, I mean, we realize our gifts and our blessings from God, because we couldn't do this without God. And God appointed us three to do this together. I mean, we're going to do some things separately, but, we were put here to do this together, and we just want to thank all our fans that supported us. And music's changed quite a bit since we came out in 97. And we
Absolutely.
respect what everyone's doing, but, I mean, we know that there's a place for everything, and we just, you know, we want to make sure that our new up-and-coming younger artists and the fans of today get to hear, you know, where we come from. We come from a place
Absolutely.
where the computers can't sing for you. You know, we got to go out and do it ourselves. We work hard.
That's right.
You know, we work hard. We write our own music. We create our own sound. We style ourselves. It's all internalized, and that's why Next is still here. By the grace of God, we're still creating, you know.
And to this day, it still continues to slap in my ride. So just to let you know, Next is still relevant after what, a decade plus. So, you know, trust me. Thank you for the music contributions, no doubt. Dr. Barnes. Dr. Barnes, give us a little bit of your information, your bio for the listeners
my
out
bio
there.
is I'm from Donaldsonville, Louisiana, and a little small town right between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Louisiana. And been out here for about 35 years. Been a pastor of my church, Abyssinian Baptist Church, for 20 years. And God just led me to write a book, and the name of the book is Successfully Raising Young Black Men. And one of the reasons I wrote the book is because of the fact that I got tired of doing young black men's funerals. Got just sick and tired of it. And so we wrote this book. And, in fact, we have a conference that's coming up as well, August the 6th, and we can talk about that a little later as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the things, and like I said, to me, I think it's perfect for to have you two together because, to me, I think there's a lot of responsibility that comes with music and that comes with us as black men as well. And I'll start with Dr. Barnes. Dr. Barnes, when it comes to not just music, but also just your everyday lives and the lives that you live, why do you think it just seems like it's from decades on, here on out, that a lot of people tend to forget history when it comes to not just our black history, but our history in being good fathers, good mothers, good people in general? Why does it seem like, you know, once you feel like, you know, you hit 10 steps forward, there's 20 steps back?
Well, it's just like I say, and myself, is that I go with what the Word of God says in Romans chapter 1, verse 14. Paul talks about the fact that he says, I'm a debtor. And that word debtor, it means obligated. And so I don't think that we have enough people that are taking obligations for other sons and being surrogate fathers and going back and trying to get the other. I think that kind of stuff has been lost, which we need to get back to. My three sons are doing well. One is a music producer, and the other works for a bio-rat company, and the other one is going to school. But I'm not satisfied with just my sons, man. I'm obligated to other people's sons, and I think that's what we have to do, is get other people obligated to other sons, other people's children, rather than just theirs.
Tweet, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's funny that you're saying that, being that, you know, it's Father's Day. I'm sitting here with my 14-year-old son, and if you look back through the history of our music, my son's been involved in most of my career. He was 1 year old. He was a 1-year-old when we got signed, and he's in our second video, I Still Love You, and he's been like present in my career, in my tours, and like he's accepted awards with us on stage and everything. And it's funny that, you know, we're rekindling our career and everything, and he's right here again, sitting right next to me, and it's awesome for him to be sitting here hearing this conversation. And he's Tweet Jr., Raphael Brown Jr. And the good thing about him is he's an athlete, but he's also a scholar. Like, this guy is on the AB honor roll in school, just received a certificate of excellence from President Obama, and I can only take so much of that credit. Like, you know, as his father and setting the groundwork for that, I can put the groundwork out there. But I'm so proud of him because it's decisions that he's made, and he just gave the gift back to me recently by telling me that, you know, he strives to be the best that he can be because that's what he sees in me. And, I mean, that's the best gift I could ever receive from him because all I can do is, you know, lead by example. I can't tell him what to do. I can make suggestions, but the way I keep a close relationship with my son is accepting him for who he is and just pray that I'm doing the right thing and setting the right example. And, you know, like you said, Doc, we are responsible for more than just our own children that God bless us to have ourselves. You know, it's like, you know, it takes a community, it takes a village. And
Exactly.
if that hasn't been passed down to our new parents, then they don't know. And a lot of times they think they're by themselves, or, sometimes we have people that want to be followers. And if people are being led to the wrong place, it takes somebody that's gone through the struggle and see that that place isn't good for you and speak up. And so we have to look out for that and go against the grain. I don't mind not being cool to tell people that, that's not what you should be doing. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather look out for somebody today and have them look at me funny and wonder what I'm talking about, and then learn the lesson later than watch them struggle and know I could have done something about it.
Right. And I know both of y'all fellas and the listeners that's listening, remember how it was back in the day, and I want to go back as far as from when I was growing up in the, early 80s and the 70s and stuff like that too, where it's like, if it was something going on with somebody's kid, that child would be led back to the house with a parent, back to their house, saying exactly what this child has done or didn't do, or something like that, and that child would have been disciplined and something like that too. But I wanted to throw that out there because listening to y'all and just remembering just a lot of stuff, and it seemed like there was a corner that was turned. I felt like that because everybody seemed to care. Everybody was looking out for somebody else's child, like you said, Doc, earlier, and to me that felt good. And to this day, I still do that. And at the same time, there's a lot of parents that you would think because of the generation that, hey, we grew up together. So, if we grew up in this generation, what happened? They tend to look at me funny if I'm telling them not, disciplining their child and stuff like that too. So my question to both, and I'll start with Tweet on this one, is when it comes to, and especially with responsibility of music and stuff like that too, because you said earlier about, it's, people kind of tend to, digitally enhance themselves, be it, with the internet age, and, be it if it's singing or even if it's parenting now. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts about this whole thing when it comes to just this digital age now? A lot of people just seem to be too busy, and let me just text you instead of giving you a phone call.
I mean, everything it's so amazing how everything's become like the facade and this fake it till you make it, and everybody's hiding behind all these walls and barriers, and you have Twitter and Facebook and people putting pictures on there from 13 years ago, and they're altering the pictures, and it's like it's getting to the point to where the social standards are making people be afraid to be who they really are. So they're hiding themselves behind what they think people want to see or what they think is acceptable. And it's sad, because you can only fake for so long. Eventually the curtains are going to be pulled away and you're going to be revealed. And so I tell my children, and I live this way myself, I'm going to be who I am. So I'm never going to make a mistake and forget who I was, because I'm always going to be me. So if a person accepts me the way I am, then that's cool. And if they don't, that's cool. There's 6.7 billion people, and there's so many people to choose from. But I think it's like with music, I mean, the responsibility of music, it's gotten so out of hand where you see, songs where guys are saying they wish they could be every girl in the world. And when I see girls sing that, it's like it breaks my heart, because I have a daughter, and it breaks my heart to just think that it's gotten that loose to where the level of self-respect is so low that people are actually glorifying songs that are degrading to them.
Right.
And it makes me, I seem like an alien, or like I'm old school or something if I go in the studio and I make a record that's talking about love. You make a record about some real genuine love, like, oh, maybe, my woman, I'm sorry I did what I did, or you broke my heart or something like, oh, man, I ain't listening to that. Man, even my son, I have a son that's really into pop culture. He calls like slow songs like a love song. He called that sleepy time music. Like, oh man, sleepy time music. I'm like, man, this is real right here. He doesn't want to hear it. He like, because it's more beat driven, lyrically driven, and I gotta be honest. Next, we played a part in some of those risque lyrics being normal now. We were a part of breaking the ice, along with people like Jodeci and Drew Hill and guys that kind of got more and more risque with the records. And now I look at, like, some artists right now, the stuff that they're saying, I'm like, good Lord, are you serious?
Yeah, but see, my thing is, and I'll let Dr. Barnes comment on that too, but, you know, my thing is real quick, like, Next as a group, y'all may have taken it to that, you know, not extreme. Y'all just brought it to a threshold, and it cut off right there. And to me, I was fine with that because, you know, like you said, nowadays, Tweet, you don't, you know, the I Invented Sex songs and stuff like that. Would you hear Luther? Would you hear Luther sing that? Would you think Stevie Wonder was singing? Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, but you know what it was? We were sexually suggestive, but right now it's blatant, it's explicit, it's disrespectful, it's derogatory. You know, it's they crossed the line. It's raw, and the girls like
but what does that do? What does that do for our, you know, our children, the young men and the young ladies? You follow what I'm saying? And I think it just tears them apart, and they don't know which way to go at all. They really don't. And I think that it becomes the job of the parent to let your child know, you know, that you are important, you know, that you don't have to settle for less than what you really are, you know.
Right.
And the way I see it too, and especially when it comes to not just responsibility in music, but also responsibility as parents and also responsibility as people. I mean, you know, you have a lot of hats that you have to juggle, but at the same time, you know, especially when you become a parent, and even if you're not a parent, when you're at that point in time in your life where you know I have to start worrying about my legacy and what I'm going to leave, and I just don't want to sit here and take 20 steps back when I could be doing so many different things, not just to be a better me, but, you know, like you said earlier, Doc, for children out there. I mean, because I've been a passionate guy when it comes to supporting our children, not just our children in the ghetto or our children. I mean, children everywhere, even our missing children. Our missing and exploited children. Like, you know, my heart goes out to so many kids that lost their way. And, you know, I'm just trying to find a way where we can be able to get that back. And, Doc, I know you have a parenting conference August 6th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Baptist Church on 33rd Street in Oakland. So tell the people a little bit about that, and especially if they're in the Bay, because we're worldwide right now. I mean, we have so many people across the world, but we have a lot of listeners in the Bay. So tell people a little bit about that conference going on as well.
Yes. Now, one of the reasons, Tweet, and also, brother, that the reason why we're having this conference is because I wrote this book, Successfully Raising Young Black Men. It made Amazon.com. I've been to Philadelphia, Dallas, Houston, you name it, Los Angeles, San Diego, everywhere doing conferences. Never did one in the Bay Area. And God put it on my heart to do one in the Bay Area because, man, I got tired of doing funerals. We got this conference coming up. We have some great facilitators that's going to be there. Bishop Bob Jackson of the Acts Full Gospel. Pastor Harold Mayberry is going to be there from the First AME Church. Timothy Hawkins, Gloria Brown, Oldest Simpson of the Youth Uprising. We're going to have some of the Raider football players are going to be there. Johnny Harris and Donovan Lee Darius, he's going to be there also, and then I'm going to be there as well. And man, I love this conversation because right now our church is filled with young people, and you know, it's attractive to young people because I just tell it just like it is. And you got to know the language in terms of that people would understand it. And I'm just grateful for just being with this conversation because this conference is going to be one like none other. It's going to be great, and we look forward to it. And that's August the 6th at 528 33rd Street in the city of Oakland. The phone number is 510-653-0315. Look forward to seeing each of you there.
Absolutely. And, yeah, definitely sign me up because I am definitely there. I will definitely be a part of it. Trust me. So I'm looking forward to it. Successfully raising young black men. Tweet. Let me ask you this, especially because, you know, the thing that, you know, the more I do interviews and the more I talk to people, the more I get a chance. Like, wow, I didn't even know, you know, you had a 1-year-old growing up through the height of your career in the 90s and still maintain that family atmosphere. Was there some things that you could be able to let these new listeners know, not just the demographics of young kids, but also parents like myself, I'm trying to learn from every single parent I can to just kind of, just not just your daily routine, because every routine is different, but just your mental mind state as far as being a parent to a child, for a black man.
Well, for me, I had some things going on in my life growing up that caused my father and I to be separated when we were young. And it wasn't the typical story that he just didn't want to be around. And even though I was told that, I learned different with valid facts to back it up, that it wasn't that way. But I just knew, like, my mom was really, really strict, being that my dad wasn't there. She gave us a lot of spankings. There was a lot of, like, really strict punishments. My mom's a Christian, so she didn't curse. But, I mean, she still had her way of getting her point across. And I just realized that I wanted to take a different route from that because, yeah, I thank God that I turned out the way that I did. I mean, I'm definitely not, I stay out of trouble. I know how to, I love myself and I love others, and I live that way at all times. But I knew I didn't want to raise my children yelling at them, spanking them, and, because I want to have a growing relationship with them. And my goal is to always continue to grow with them, not just every day, but every moment. Because I want them to be that outlet that they come to, not their so-called friends that could change within a year, within a few months, or something like that. I want them to know I am always there, no matter what. You can tell me the worst things. We're going to get through it together. I mean, everything's a learning process, and this is what I present to my sons every day. My sons have told me some things before that I was totally shocked, and believe me, my heart has turned flips. And in the moment, you want to say, oh, my gosh, I can't believe this happened. You shouldn't have, but all that does is pushes them further away from you. If you want to have a close relationship, you have to be a continuous welcome mat for your children to say, all right, I know I can tell my dad this. He's not going to scream my head off. We're going to talk about it. And then yeah.
Sweet, this is Dr. Barnes. I just want to ask you a question while you're talking about that, man. In other words, you're saying that be real with your sons, right?
Oh, man, raw as possible.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's great. Okay.
You set them right where they are. Like don't treat them like decisions that they're making is just so wrong that there's no turning back. No, you're still alive, you're still breathing. You got a shot to make things better. So I make sure that they know that there's an open door policy with me. You can call me all the time. You can talk to me all the time. My son's sitting right here. He can vouch for it. He told me things, believe me, that I jumped inside, out of my skin, and we talked about it. We spoke through it, and he was able to hear me because I wasn't yelling at him. I listened to what he said. You know what? How did you feel about being involved in a situation like that? And he explained that it wasn't something that he liked. I said, well, now you've had the experience. Now you know what it is, and now let's keep it moving. And it hasn't happened again. And, I mean, I'm talking about a kid that was raised on tour. I'm seeing the tour, and one thing you don't do, too, I don't parade females around my children. My children see me in relationships, married.
Amen to that.
I represent a lifestyle that I want them to understand that focus on your career, focus on being the best you can be, and then when you finally have yourself in a position where you know yourself and you can take care of yourself, then you can look at, being in a relationship or sharing yourself with someone else. Until you're in that position, don't waste your time on that because it's not fair to the other person and it's not fair to yourself to try to be in a relationship and you're not really ready to be in a full relationship with yourself yet.
Right. Now, that's I mean, as far as that goes, to me, I think that's one of, many others that's out there, but it's a rare occasion to be able to see that hands-on dad, things like that. But let me tell you a flip side, and I'm going to ask this question to Dr. Barnes. I grew up in a situation where my dad, he would pop in and out. He was really, if you can define what a father is, I don't think that would have been the case. Wasn't hardly ever there, you know what I'm saying? And it was one of those situations where, especially the many times that I've succeeded as far as, high school valedictorian, he wasn't there. A lot of different stages in my life growing up in my teen years that was excellent, he wasn't a part of. And, it never really left me super bitter, but at the same time, it made me want to be an anti type of person that he was, which now it's not, I am basically that kind of guy for my daughter, that my daughter would never, ever have to worry about her dad not being there, because being proactive in my child's life is priority one, and I want to do something my dad never did for me. And on the flip side, let me ask you a question. There's a lot of guys out there that has never been there for their child, and their child is pretty much left, for their mom to be their dad. What can you say to those kids out there that would have loved to have that father figure but didn't, and is trying to look for an identity themselves? What can you tell these kids out there?
Yeah, here's what I would say. Now, I grew up in Louisiana, Downsville, Louisiana. My father died when I was real young, so I grew up without a father. But there are surrogate fathers out there. There are mentors that are out there, and they have to latch on to that to find out, other men that would be that stepped in line, and they showed me what a man really was, and showed me what a man is supposed to be like. And I had made up in my mind that I would not leave my children. I would stay there. And so now I was just like them, man. When my wife, I've been married for 33 years. When my wife got pregnant, I was going to do the same thing that a lot of other cats do, and that was run. But something on the inside, man, said, you know what? You made this baby, you take care of this baby. And I think that what that had to do was I had mentors growing up. And so I think that each young man that don't have a father at home and have to grow up with their mother, because there are some strong black women as well.
Absolutely.
But I think that what he has to do is find that mentor, man, find that mentor that he wants to be like, and look up to him and try to go that way. I think that would help him in terms of giving him direction in terms of what's going on. That's why I said at the beginning, a lot of people have left the ghetto per se, and what has happened is that they never go back to try to reach out and reach these other young men. They become judges, lawyers, and everything else. Why don't you go back and reach out to them? I think that's what we have to preach out there, for them to go back and try to reach some of those young men.
I think when it comes to that too, it's like you mentioned it about the lawyers and the charity is one thing. Donating to whoever is fine. Your favorite charity, that's great. I applaud you for that. But at the same time, there's nothing better, and I repeat, there's nothing better than being hands-on to your community and being a focal point to where you grew up from. And especially Oakland nowadays, it just seemed like every time, and I've born and raised in Oakland, Dr. Barnes. You probably already know every single time, and I'm in my early 30s. You drive around, it's been like that. You see the same block with the same scene, like the same people hanging out on that block. And you see the same store that's been run down. There's no upgrades to that community whatsoever. And to me, I don't know. I'm big on pride, and I know I'm not made of money or anything like that. But at the same time, I at least would love to try to do something to be able to try to make your community proud, be it, build something together, work together, do something together at least.
Right. And that's one of the reasons why, like I said, we have in this conference, man, is to reach out and try to, talk to these parents, because a lot of times we're talking to the young cats and the young guys not listening to you. But what if we could change the mindset of some of these parents, just like Tweet is talking about, man. I love what he's saying about him being a father. So we got to reach out to these other guys and let them know what a real father is all about. Because ants, roaches, and rats, they could make a baby. They could reproduce, but who's going to stay there and take care of it? That's the question. Right. I think that's what we got to do.
That's right. And I feel the responsibility is, even if it's a kid you don't know, and you may have seen, be it if it's on your block or in the streets, I feel like every parent, every adult should have that parental or that nurturing responsibility that, I don't want to see this child fail. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, the school systems. I don't want to see this child come up in the school system that don't really care. We want to make sure their education is nice and different things like that as well. And Tweet, let me ask you this, because you have been doing your daddy thing and your career at the same time. Have you is your son musically inclined where he's trying to follow in your footsteps, or not really?
He does sing. I mean, I guess it's a natural thing. It's the hereditary thing that he can sing, but he's really focused on no, just some of those things are passed down. But he's really focused on his academics, and I'm really proud of him for that. That's his heart. That's what he wakes up, goes to sleep, eats, drinks, thinks. That's school. That's what it is with him. But he's also a basketball player, and I mean, my man is liquid on the court. And this is just something that he's always gravitated towards since he was a really small guy. So, I mean, he knows that whatever he decides to do in his life, I'm going to support him 1,000,000%, and he's going to give his all. That's the type of person he is. So he has talked to me about music in the past, but it's not it's not something that he's showing as much interest in as he's showing in his academics and as he's showing in his sports game. And it goes academics, sports, and then music is down the line.
Okay. Yeah, and what you said about him being that what he wants to do right now as far as playing ball, that's his passion. Dr. Barnes, let me ask you a question when it comes to that, because, out here in the Bay Area, we have so many, there's not enough places to enhance our kids' knowledge, not just, we need more school projects like, sporting events or, different little things like that. We need more music. There's so many young kids that want to pick up a guitar or play the piano, and they don't have those options or anything like that musically or athletically, seems like. But, what do you feel like, as far as getting everybody together to figure out, is there other ways that we could be able to, help these kids out when it comes to music and sporting events as far as getting some stuff together? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts on that is actually is just what Tweet said about his son. I have three sons. My oldest son is 32 years old. The one is 28 and one's 21. Never been to jail, no trouble, and I thank God for that. But my oldest son, he's a music producer. On Tank's last album, Foreplay, he's the one that produced that song. And so I know that music is what kept my sons out of a lot of the trouble. And so we need to enhance that. We need to let people know that watch this, you can play music and still be a Christian. You follow what I'm saying? That's not going to take nothing away from you. You follow what I'm saying? And someone had said that, well, your son is playing this song for Tank. That's how he makes his living. What do you want him to do? You follow what I'm saying? And so my thing is that we need to push music, because it is said that if a person begins in the music career, that they're less likely to get in trouble. And so this is one of the things, I'm glad you're talking about it, because this is one of the things that I've been pushing for a long time, that we need to help those schools that are without music instruments and things like that, to try to enhance them. We don't know what they can be. Our kids are geniuses, man, if we just allow them to develop their gifts. And what I like about it is that you got to let your child, I discovered that my kids love music, right? Well, first of all, I got tired of my musician at my church, so I went and I bought some keyboards. And my sons did never played before, and they love playing. And what parents have to do is find out that what your kid loves and push them in it, and let them just go on and be themselves. That's the character.
That's right. That's right.
I want to add to that. This is sweet. I want to add to that, and just by saying, like, as far as if your child shows interest in a certain area, you help them magnify that. My son loves basketball, so I'll go to the court with him. He can shoot 700 shots. I'll chase. I'm fast. I'm athletic. I'm still in shape. I'm 35. I get it in. And I'll grab the ball. I don't care where it rolls to or where it goes. I'll give him the ball 1,000 times if he wanted, 2,000 times. Keep shooting. Then I'm playing that Jordan 96 championship ring defense on him. Just like I'm I just want to let him know that it's not gonna come easy, but at the same time, it's not. I'm not like a guy on the other side trying to take what he wants from him. I'm adding to what he's doing. So I like guys. I couldn't pay a guy to go and let me shoot 5 free throws when I was young. That's why we get our guys in these championship games and they can't win the ring, because they can't convince somebody else to throw them that rebound back because they want to shoot too. It's not just basketball. You got to be like that. Somebody raps like Dr. Barnes, like you said, you went and got the keyboards. Like, I mean,
Absolutely.
you see that your children are involved. Now your son's on Tank's record. You know, that's how that have you planted that seed. You know, you saw it in him, and your child planted the seed and showing the interest, and you just watered and nurtured the seed by going to, you know, add to it with the instruments and allowing them the time to make it happen. You know, we got to keep doing that.
Absolutely, man. Well,
No doubt.
absolutely.
This is Branded After Dark. We have Dr. Kevin Barnes, also tweet from the R&B group, the Power Group Next. And before I wrap it up with you guys, I got to make sure I add, this is the first annual parenting conference that's going on August 6th of this year from 8 to 3 at, I pronounced it at
Abyssinian
Baptist Church at 528 33rd Street in Oakland. Definitely make sure you reach out to Dr. Barnes. Is there an email, like if anybody has questions? Because I'm getting a ton of emails with people, especially out here, some in Vallejo and some in Fairfield. They have questions about wanting to attend. So is there a website that we can be, you can have them check out?
The website is, they can go to successfulraisingyoungblackmen.com. They could go right there and they can see my book and everything else right there. That'd be fine. Or they could email me. Well, they could even call me at 707-888-8742.
Perfect, definitely.
707-888-8742. They can give me a call on that number, and that'll be great.
It's the first annual, people, so definitely be a part of, the beginning of new history. So, make sure you check it out August 6th. Tweet, when it comes to your music, Next is back, right? You guys are back.
Next is back, yes, full effect. All three original members, myself, Tweet, RL, and CeeLo, we are back. And we're never going anywhere again.
And Tweet, this is Dr. Barnes. Tweet, this is Dr. Barnes. You're invited to the conference also, man.
Thank you. You said that's August 5th?
August 6th, at the Abyssinian Church, yeah.
All right, we're doing some spot dates. Like right now, we're in and out on tour. We're recording in Atlanta, doing our new record right now. So if by chance I'm available and I can make it up that way, Doc, I can't promise anything. I gotta be honest with you. But if I'm in that area, I would definitely come through and support. And I'll promote it on my Twitter page and promote it as often as I can and let other people know.
Great.
Get as many people involved as possible.
And Tweet, what I'll do is I'll text you, the information as well, email addresses and all that stuff as well. And what's your Twitter, man, so I can follow you?
My Twitter, I'm following you already. My Twitter is at tweetsbytweet.
Tweets by Wait. Let me get that one more time. It's tweets by tweet, right?
Yep, at tweetsbytweet.
Tweet.
And
all right, perfect.
At Next is here.
Okay, right on. So, real quick, with the group Next, you said everybody's back. You're not going nowhere. Everything is. You guys are working on your album and stuff right now. So, I'm gonna ask you on the air. So I'm gonna put you on the spot right now. So, once y'all get that single done, can your man be the first to break that single? Break that. Can I be the first to?
I got your number in my phone. I'll definitely make it happen. I'll make it happen ASAP.
Perfect. You're the man. So y'all heard it right here live on the air. And there's so many people out there on the East Coast that's wishing they can come out here on the West. If you guys are making a trip, guys and girls, if you're making a trip out here from the East to the West to California, definitely make sure you attend that the conference, because it's historic. I mean, it doesn't get any better than getting together a group of black men to try to be able to network and work together to be able to hold a legacy down. And then one thing, Dr. Barnes, that I got to say is, I've been a perfect advocate on trying to build a legacy. When I say a legacy, is I want people to, whatever your craft is, whatever you're blessed to do do it and make sure that a legacy is left. And when I say that, I'm talking about, no matter what goes on, and when you're gone, 500 years from now, people will still be talking about you as that guy or girl that did what he or she did. And the world's a better place because of it. And I feel that's a legacy if you leave that. It's not about how much money you make. It's not about how many women you date or men you date. It's about leaving something that no one will never forget when it comes to you, and you. You know what I mean? And to me, I think people need to get in that mindset, because right now everybody's so motivated by material things, and that's not good.
No, not at all, not at all. And like this conference that we're doing, we probably don't make any money, and that's okay. That wasn't the design. The motive is to try to change some of those parents' heart. That's the motive.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, fellas, I gotta say, to have you both on here at the same time, it worked out perfect. And I want to thank you not just for the talents that you've given us, Tweet, and make sure you pass that on to the rest of the fellas, and the talents that you have, Dr. Barnes, for being able to inspire others as well. I mean, anytime that we can be able to get together as black men and let the world know, which we have, a couple of 100,000 people listening tonight, and for people to get impacted by it, it goes to show you that we can be able to do it. We just need a team to do it. That's all. We just get a team together, we're great.
Right.
Well, I want to thank you also for just having me on tonight, to share about the conference, and then get an opportunity to be on with Tweet. I thank God for that as well.
Well, Dr. Barnes, you just took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, it's been an honor to be on with both of you guys, and just to be in the midst of strong men who happen to be black men as well, that are, leaving the world better than they found it. And I'm honored to be a part of this conversation and to be a part of the movement, because I know it's been happening before we got on this call, and it's happening now, and it's going to continue to happen when we leave this call. And, we're planting seeds and so many other people just listening. And, I want to send love to all the women in the world, too, because I do recognize that we wouldn't be here without a woman. And so I don't understand how guys can disrespect or look down upon or treat women like dirt. I know that a lot of times certain women don't, demand respect, or they play themselves a little cheaper than they should. But at the end of the day, it takes men like us to build them up and let them know their worth, and let them know that, it doesn't have to be that way. Like the right type of person, the right type of man, and the person that you deserve is going to love you just the way you are. You don't have to go out of your skin to be all this fakeness or whatever it is, or, surgeries or whatever the case may be. You don't have to do that. You don't have to take all your clothes off, because at the end of the day, truthfully, women, guys don't want that woman. They don't want the woman on Facebook and MySpace naked and all that. They may want her for a night, but they don't want to put a ring on her finger and marry her.
That's right. Amen to that. Amen.
They want the woman that no one can touch, that everybody wants.
Yep. That's right.
So, I just wanted to put that out there, because I know we're talking directly to the fellas a lot on the call, but I just wanted to let that be known that, the woman that's going to get the best type of person is the one that's saving herself, and you got to, you have to earn that.
Mhm. Yep.
So I want to say one last thing to my children. My children saved my life. You talk about us being out on the road. My son was born when we got our first record deal, and I could have easily been one of those dudes out there wilding and just, with groupies. And the fact that I had my son, it made me think about, man, is this going to benefit me in the long run? Is this going to take me away from him? Is this going to change my life with him? And then I had his brother, and right now I have 3 sons and a daughter. And, I've been married 9 years. So,
right on.
And believe me, it's been a roller coaster, because I haven't always been the way that I am today. I haven't always thought the way that I think. I was a wild boy at one point. And so I want to commend my family for, going through those growing pains with me. But, yeah, I got to keep it raw. My children saved my life, and I thank them for it. I thank God for it.
I think, too, as men, and I can speak for myself, too, like, we're all not, built perfect. We're all going to have flaws. We all are, works in progress. But see, the blessing is if you can be able to acknowledge that, and you can be able to work on those flaws, so you can be able to, not just make yourself situation better for yourself, but also for others around you. Then that's a step in the right direction, because you get any and everybody that's saying, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm perfect. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Only one person was perfect, and that was Jesus Christ. Everybody else had flaws, and we just got to deal with it and live with it and keep on going and get better as time go on, man. And I can tell you from straight experience. I've been married. You say you was married 9 years. I've been married for 33 years. And it's been up and down, but the greatest part about it is that we're still here, and it's been great throughout all of the years, and we thank and praise God for that. And when I say up and down, we've fallen and we've gotten back up, and because all of us fall down, but we get back up again, man. And that's what Christianity is really all about, man. It's about loving people, even with their faults and everything else, man. Because we can't really look at no one else. If we point a finger at someone else, we got 4 pointing at ourselves as well. So man, just loving God and understanding what God has brought us here for. And I think that you guys are doing a great job, man.
And and fighting that good fight is when you fight it together. When you fight it together, nothing's not going to be able to hold you back. You're able to take on the world if you could do it together. You know what I'm saying? That's perfect. That's perfect.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate it both. Do not be a stranger to this show. Come on and give us this game that we need. We all need it because even though my mind is in the right direction, it's always good to hear others on that same journey too. And I get inspired just like y'all inspire people. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and happy Father's Day to you both.
Okay, happy Father's Day to both of you as well. Okay.
No problem, man. We're gonna clear it out, and we're gonna bang some classic Next right here, Too Close, right here on Branded After Dark. Blessings to you both.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.